In this video, I'm going to talk about getting into the plumbing trade for union and non-union and let you know what you need to do. And we're going to talk about it right now. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the Expert Plumber. I've been plumbing over 38 years and I have every master endorsement in the state of Texas. On this channel, I'm teaching you how to fix your plumbing fast and free. If you haven't been here before, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. So I get asked often, what's the best way to get into plumbing? I get asked on YouTube, I get asked on Facebook, I get asked on LinkedIn, I get asked in person. I actually have people call me and leave me messages and say, look, I want to get into plumbing, what should I do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you today, if you want to get into plumbing non-union or union, what I think you should do and other things that you should do to help you exceed at it. Number one, I think that plumbing is a great trade and it's been really good for me. I love the fact that I became a plumber and I'm very prideful about that. It's funny because I remember late 80s working in Austin, people would come up to you, or girls, let me correct that. Girls would come up to you and say, you know, what do you do for a living? And when you said you were a plumber, they just kind of looked at you and they're like, oh, okay, thanks, nice to meet you. It eventually got to the point where I would say, look, I'm in construction. Well, they were fine with that. Funny thing is, I later developed a sense of pride about my trade, and really, I enjoy telling people now that I'm a plumber. The first thing that I will tell you is make sure it's plumbing that you want to get into. Some people may be better as electricians, as iron workers, as HVAC people, building elevators. There's a lot of different things in these trades that you can do to where you can get a great education. You don't have to pay for college, and you can still make really good money when you get out or when you get done. And when I say when you get out, that would be more of the union way, an apprentice training program. So let's start there. If you want to become a union apprentice, and I'm going to talk about plumbing, but pretty much it's going to be about the same with any of the trades. But if you want to join a union, what you need to do is do research. Find out where is the nearest local in your area. I'm in Dallas. Local 100 is actually over in Mesquite. So if I wanted to go to school through the apprentice training program, I would contact that local and ask them where the JATC is, the Joint Apprentice Training Center. Ours is joint because we train plumbers and pipe fitters, and we also train some HVAC technicians for the big chillers and things like that, refrigeration. To join the local union, what I would do is I would call over there, go over and talk to them, and explain to them what I'm looking for. What am I looking for as a career? What benefits would I like to have? And find out what they have to offer. You know, one of the things that I talk about in the United Association here in Dallas, for every year we work over 2,100 hours, we get 1.2 years of service. So that means we can actually retire a little bit sooner. And there is actually a retirement there. So if I wanted to go there, I would go over and talk to them. Then they would send me over to Garland to the Joint Apprentice Training Center, where I would talk to the directors or the admin over there to find out what I needed to do to enroll. And it's like applying for a job. You have to fill out an application. You need to have a high school diploma or a GED. You need to have a driver's license. So anyway, you do what you have to do to enroll and you try to get accepted. Around the country, it's easier or harder to get in depending on what area you're in. How many people want to get in? I remember seeing a video where I believe 1,000 plumbers had lined up trying to get in to Local 1 in New York. And that's pretty neat because I know one of the instructors up there, John Cullen, a great guy. And I thought that was really neat because there are that many people trying to get into the trade. Here in Dallas, you can go into the Apprentice Training Center anytime, fill out an application or fill out the paperwork, and try to get an interview scheduled. They have orientations where they bring people in and tell them what it means to be in the union, what it means to come in as a plumber, a pipe fitter, or a welder. And these guys come in, go through this orientation. Then they fill out the paperwork, and then they go through an interview process to try to get picked to be one of the, I'm going to say 40 or 50 apprentices that may be selected at the beginning of each year. Now, the Apprentice Training Center is a training program that operates like a college. So school starts in August, you get a winter break in December, you come back in January, and then you're out around, May, something like that. It's a great training program. You learn a lot. The other way is through the open shop. And when I say open shop, any plumbing company or electrical or HVAC or anybody else that is not union is considered an open shop. Anybody can go to work there. You don't have to be a union member. That's actually how I started my plumbing career. The way that works is you actually go apply at a plumbing company. Now, I will tell you this. Make sure that you know what kind of plumber you want to be. Do you want to build new buildings? Do you want to build big high rises? Do you want to do service plumbing in a house in a residential neighborhood? Do you want to do service work on commercial jobs like a restaurant? Or do you want to build new homes? There's different options. And what you can do is talk to some of the plumbers, talk to people in that area, and find out what plumbing companies have a good reputation and do the type of work that you want to do. Now, open shop here in the Dallas area, I would tell you there are some plumbing companies that do service, which is what we do, that are big enough that you see them on TV all the time. And if I was just getting into the trade, I would think about going to work for them because a bigger company has more money for education, more money for training, and they can bring you in and spend more money to help you grow to be the kind of plumber that they want you to be. If you go to work for a little mom and pop plumbing company, and don't get me wrong, I have nothing against them. I know some really good ones. But if you go to work for a little mom and pop plumbing company, you're going to learn from the plumber that you work with, and that's probably about it. Now, remember I told you, I started out as an open shop plumber. And do me a favor, if you're watching this video right now, leave a comment down below and let me know, are you open shop? Are you union? Or do you want to be open shop or union? Do you want to work commercial or service? What do you want to do? Leave me a comment down below. And if you've subscribed to the channel, I'll make sure that I reply back to you and talk to you more and tell you what I think about it. So you go to work for a bigger company, you have a better opportunity to learn. Going to work for a company, I will tell you this, whenever you come in and realize, look, you've got a job and they have expectations from you. They want you to learn, they want you to excel, and they want you to do well. Eventually, they're going to make money off of you. And that's what this business is all about. Granted, some companies do it different, some do it better, some do it worse. Everybody that gets in this trade, whether you come in as a plumber, a welder, a pipe fitter, HVAC, elevator union, whatever it is, you're getting into this trade to make money. The way you're going to make money is by creating a value to where you know what you're doing, you're good at what you do, and the company makes money off you by putting you in a position to work to where they get paid for it. Also look and find out, what does the top end pay? What does the very top 5% of the people in that trade make in the area that you're in? Will that be good for you? Will that be good enough for you, or do you need to make more than that? Trades are not for everybody, but I will tell you, a good tradesman makes good money. And the more they learn, the more value they bring, the more they're worth. So one thing I will tell you about the plumbers, I've got a book and it's a study guide that I recommend, and I'll make sure that we put the comments or a link to it in here. It's the UPC Study Guide. Now, the Uniform Plumbing Code is a code, and there's really two that we go by, the UPC and the IPC. The UPC, I love their study guide. That is what I use to study for my journeyman and my master test here in Texas. Some states you have to have a license, some states you don't. Check into it. Find out, what are the requirements? What are you going to have to do in order to excel and advance and make the kind of money that you want to make? So the UPC study guide, what I recommend is when you first get into the trade, and I've got a video where I talk about the book itself and how I study. and I do it towards the end of it. But what I would do, watch that video, find out how to study to become a plumber. And what you're really studying is the code. But if you'll study the code, as you're learning, you're going to learn quicker. You're going to learn more. And that, again, creates value. Now, I've got another video where I talk about union versus non-union. And in that video, I talk about, as an apprentice, it was better for me open shop because I excelled and I did better faster, so I was able to make more money sooner. Not always that way in the union, but as a union apprentice, if you excel and bring value, you can actually make more money there too. And I promise you, if you will do these things, whether you're open shop or union, it's going to make you a better plumber. Now, people also ask me all the time, which one do I like better? I will tell you this. As a plumber, I preferred working in the union. As a business owner, I'm still up in the air about that. I love the fact that I am a union company because I think that I offer my plumbers better benefits. But here in Texas, in Dallas, I'm the only union service plumbing company that there is. And it's tough because I'm competing for the same plumbers that everybody else has, but I have to pay them about $12 an hour more to cover their benefits. So there's certain things that I've got to look at and decide, is it worth it for me in the long run? I want the best plumbers, and I do pay more for them, but to me, that part's worth it. Please, if you haven't done it, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos, and leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you're union, if you're open shop, if you're an apprentice, if you're a journeyman, and what type plumber you are. Are you commercial or residential? Do you do service or new construction? I know that's a lot, and if you need to rewind it to watch it again, that's fine, you can do it. My name's Roger Wakefield with Texas Green Plumbing, saving you money one drop at a time.